By most measurements, the initial season of the UFL in 2024 was a success. And when you compare it to the UFL that kicked off in 2009, let's just say the only comparison is that the two leagues shared a name. That UFL was the second real shot at alternative football in the 2000s. Unfortunately, like a lot of alt football attempts, it had a shaky start and it ended with a whimper. When the UFL was announced in 2007 with this terribly generic logo, which was thankfully given an upgrade before it launched, there were nearly 24 cities on the league's target list. But when the dust settled before a lot of behind-the-scenes drama, only 4 teams played in 2009. The California Redwoods, who played in San Francisco and San Jose, the Florida Tuskers, who called Orlando home, the Las Vegas Locomotives, you can guess what city they played in, and the New York Sentinels, who never played in New York City, but played at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Short Stadium in Hempstead, New York, and one game at Rentschler Field in East Hartford, Connecticut. That game in East Hartford, the 0-4 Sentinels versus the 4-0 Tuskers, was played in front of an announced crowd of 5,200 fans. I'll let you decide if there were 5,200 fans there. The Sentinels finished the season 0-6. They relocated to Hartford in the 2010 season and actually drew an announced average attendance of more than 14,000 fans per game. The now named Hartford Colonials finished with a 3-5 record, and the league shuttered the franchise after the 2010 season. California had its problems as well, with one game at Spartan Stadium in San Jose drawing about 4,000 fans. The Redwoods played 2 home games at AT&T Park in San Francisco, both games bringing in maybe 6,000 fans. The team finished 2-4 and moved to Sacramento the following season, where the now named Mountain Lions played until the league folded in 2012. The Florida Tuskers had the second highest attendance in the league, playing 2 home games in the Citrus Bowl and 1 in Tropicana Field and St. Petersburg. The Tuskers averaged more than 11,000 fans for their home games. The Tuskers were the only undefeated team in the inaugural regular season, falling to Las Vegas by a field goal in the UFL Championship in overtime on November 27th. The Tuskers went back to the UFL Championship in 2010, falling by 3 points to the Locos again. They moved to Virginia in 2011, becoming the Destroyers, playing only 4 games that season, but winning the UFL Championship, yes, against Las Vegas. Las Vegas and Virginia were actually given berths into the title game when the remainder of the 2011 regular season was canceled in October, a red flag that signaled the beginning of the end of this league. The Destroyers drew more than 12,000 fans to home games in 2011, but in 2012, attendance dropped all around the league under the uncertainty of the UFL survival. The attendance was so bad for Virginia that year, the team refused to release attendance figures for the games at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. And those Las Vegas Locomotives, they were the one team that stayed put all 4 years the UFL was around. The Locos were the model of consistency, playing all 4 seasons at Sam Boyd Stadium, with Jim Fossil as head coach every season. As mentioned, he guided the Las Vegas Locos to all 3 UFL championship games. The 4th was canceled when the season was cut short and the league folded, but Fossil was 4-0 in that final year in 2012. As with other teams around the league in 2012, attendance was poor. In fact, the last home game for the Locos had an announced attendance of 601. See if you can spot the 601 fans. UFL Commissioner Michael Hugh called the 2009 season a dress rehearsal to really launch the league in 2010. In 2010, the league had 5 teams, with the addition of the Omaha Nighthawks, one of the few success stories of the UFL despite a rough record. Omaha drew more than 20,000 fans to games at Rosenblatt Stadium that year, even though they won just 3 games. You have to wonder, if the league had survived, maybe today we would be talking about the Nighthawks as a marquee franchise. Well, the UFL lives on at RoyalRetros.com. Go there to see their entire lineup of UFL merchandise and use code JLS at checkout to get 10% off your entire order.
Tonight, live and in color, TBS presents the new game in town, the World Football League.
The season premiere of the United States Football League.
Like every other alt football league we've seen come and go, they all started with promise, but seemingly all ended with disappointment and debt. Here's to hoping the new UFL will buck the trend for years to come. The UFL that operated from 2009 to 2012 was actually not the first league to use the name United Football League. That league ran from 1961 to 1964, and you can learn all about it right here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.